Hello, Golden State Warriors fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. All right, folks, buckle up because the NBA world is buzzing right now, and not for the reasons you might expect. Out in the Bay Area, the Golden State Warriors, that dynasty built on splash, movement, and brotherhood, might be hitting one of its most dramatic crossroads yet. Reports and whispers coming out of the team's camp are pointing towards serious tension between head coach Steve Kerr and one of his players. And for what insiders are saying, Kerr might have reached his breaking point. The phrase that's echoing through social media right now, "He doesn't play with me anymore." Those 5 words, allegedly spoken by Kerr himself, are shaking the basketball community. It's not just about basketball. It's about relationships, leadership, and pride. This isn't some rookie or a benchwarmer we're talking about either. The rumor mill suggests this has to do with a major figure, someone who's been part of the Warriors' core, maybe even a pillar of their success. When Kerr says something that heavy, you know the situation is serious. For years, he's been the calm presence behind their championships, the voice of reason amid chaos. But now, it seems that calm might have cracked. Something's brewing, and it's not pretty. People close to the organization are whispering that this rift didn't just happen overnight. It's been building quietly, hidden behind smiles and press conference cliches, waiting for the right moment to explode. Insiders say it all started with minutes, or the lack of them. Tensions over playing time, strategic disagreements, and maybe even some personal friction started to chip away at the once solid relationship between coach and player. Kerr, known for his communication and empathy, apparently tried to smooth things over, but when competitive egos collide, words can only go so far. Imagine being in that locker room, surrounded by championship banners, but feeling like you're walking on eggshells every time practice starts. The vibe just isn't the same. The laughter that used to fill the gym during warm-ups? Gone, replaced by silence and side glances. The question now is, who's the player? Is it a seasoned veteran? A rising star? Fans are throwing out names like confetti on social media, each theory wilder than the last. One thing's for sure, something deep is shaking the foundation of the Warriors' golden empire. Now, let's not forget who Steve Kerr is. The man has seen it all. He played under Phil Jackson, teamed up with Michael Jordan, and managed egos in Chicago, San Antonio, and now Golden State. He's not the type to throw his hands up over petty drama. So when someone like Kerr allegedly says, "He doesn't play with me anymore," that's not emotion. That's a decision. That's a man who's drawn his line in the sand. He's been through dynasties, injuries, rebuilds, and championship hangovers, yet he's always kept control of his locker room. Until now. That makes this situation all the more shocking. You start wondering what could possibly push him this far. Was it disrespect? A lack of effort? Or maybe, as some suggest, a clash over philosophy? Old-school team ball versus modern-day superstar mentality. The Warriors have always thrived on unselfish play, on movement, on everyone buying in. But if someone's tuning out, that system collapses. Kerr's frustration might just be the visible crack in something much bigger. Whatever happened, it's no longer about X's and O's. It's about loyalty, control, and what happens when leadership gets challenged. And let's be real, the timing couldn't be worse. The Warriors are trying to hold on to relevancy in a league full of hungry young contenders. Every game feels like a statement, every mistake magnified. They can't afford distractions. Yet here they are, caught in one of the juiciest behind-the-scenes dramas we've seen from them in years. Fans are split down the middle. Some are siding with Kerr, saying he's doing what great coaches do, setting boundaries, demanding respect. Others argue that he's lost touch, that maybe he's not adapting to the modern player anymore. Social media is already ablaze with theories, memes, and even some free player name campaigns popping up. It's wild. But you know what's even crazier? Inside the team, nobody's talking. Total silence. Not a peep from management, not a quote from the players, nothing. That's when you know it's serious, when the noise outside is deafening, but inside, everything's locked down tight. Something's definitely going down behind closed doors, and the longer they stay quiet, the louder the rumors get. What makes this story sting even more is the emotional connection fans have with this team. The Warriors aren't just a franchise. They're a symbol of resilience and reinvention. From the strength in numbers days to the KD era and beyond, they've always projected unity. So hearing that the man who orchestrated so much of their success is drawing a hard line against one of his own feels almost tragic. It's like watching a family fight. No one really wins. People around the league are watching closely, too. Other coaches are probably nodding, understanding that sometimes even the best relationships have expiration dates. Meanwhile, rival teams are circling like sharks, waiting to see if this chaos leads to a trade, a benching, or maybe even an outright breakup. Because make no mistake, when a coach says a player won't play for him anymore, that's not reparable overnight. Trust is like glass. Once it's cracked, you can try to glue it back, but it'll never look the same again. Whatever happens next, this feels like a turning point for the Warriors culture. If there's one thing we know about this organization, though, it's that they don't panic easily. They've been counted out before and came back swinging. Maybe the situation becomes a rallying point. Maybe KERR and the player find common ground after some heated conversations. Or maybe it ends in tears, a trade, a public fallout, a goodbye that fans never saw coming. We've seen superstars clash with coaches before. Kobe and Phil, Jimmy Butler and the Wolves. Even Jordan himself had his moments. The difference here is the legacy at stake. KERR is more than just a coach. He's part of the Warriors' identity. If this relationship truly fractures beyond repair, it could reshape how this team moves forward for years. Fans can only hope that cooler heads prevail and that whatever ego storm is blowing through the bay calms down soon. But for now, all we have are whispers, glances, and one chilling sentence that might define the Warriors season. He doesn't play with me anymore. The NBA's drama never sleeps, and this one's just getting started. Now the question everyone's asking is, who's really at fault here? Let's dig deeper because this story isn't just about a disagreement. It's about power, respect, and the fine line between discipline and ego. Steve Kerr's leadership style has always been rooted in trust. He empowers his players, gives them freedom, and asks for accountability in return. But when that trust is broken, when that accountability fades, KERR reacts. Insiders suggest that the player in question may have challenged KERR during practice, not just once, but repeatedly. Imagine that. A championship-winning coach getting second-guessed in front of the team. That kind of moment doesn't just pass quietly. It plants seeds of division. KERR, as calm as he seems, is fiercely competitive. Beneath the laid-back tone is a man who demands respect. So when he reportedly said those words, "He doesn't play with me anymore," it wasn't a flare of anger. It was a final straw. For him, mutual respect isn't negotiable. Once that's gone, everything else crumbles. That's why this story feels so much bigger than basketball. It's about pride and leadership colliding in front of millions of eyes. From the player's perspective, though, there might be more to the story. Athletes live under immense pressure, especially in a team like Golden State where winning isn't optional. It's expected. Every game, every possession, every stat is analyzed, debated, and dissected. Maybe the player felt undervalued. Maybe he felt like his role was shrinking, his voice ignored. That frustration can bubble until it spills out in ways that can't be taken back. It happens. Even the most disciplined professionals have breaking points. The Warriors' locker room has always been a delicate ecosystem, balancing personalities, egos, and generational talents. Add in the pressure of aging stars, a shifting roster, and the weight of expectations, and it's a recipe for friction. That's what makes this situation so relatable. It's not just about who's right or wrong. It's about two people who care deeply about the game, but can't seem to find common ground anymore. The tragedy here is that both sides probably still want to win. They just can't do it together right now. And while the world speculates, the ripple effects are already being felt. Younger players are reportedly confused, unsure which side to take or how to respond. Veterans are stepping in, trying to mediate, to remind everyone what's at stake. The team's chemistry, That beautiful rhythm that made them unstoppable feels off. You can see it in their body language on the court, in the hesitation, the forced smiles during timeouts. This is what happens when trust breaks in a team sport. Everything slows down, the magic fades, and suddenly, every missed shot feels heavier. Sources close to the Warriors say Kerr has been quieter than usual, focused, but distant. He's coaching, sure, but that spark in his tone during interviews? Duller. Meanwhile, the player's been seen practicing separately, headphones on, face unreadable. It's all speculation, of course, but the silence from both sides is almost confirmation in itself. When a story this loud meets a wall of quiet, that's when you know it's real. It's interesting to think about how this might reshape the Warriors' future. This franchise has been built on togetherness, on that unspoken chemistry between stars and coaches that makes everything click. But dynasties don't just fall because of age or injuries. They fall because of cracks like this. When leaders stop trusting each other, when communication turns into cold stares, that's when eras end. Fans are already whispering about whether Kerr might be nearing the end of his run, or whether this player could be shipped out to protect the team's balance. It feels eerily familiar, like the final chapters of great teams before them. The Bulls in '98, the Spurs after 2014, even the Heat's breakup. Every great story eventually meets its turning point. The difference is how they handle it. Will the Warriors turn this moment into motivation or meltdown? Only time will tell. But whatever happens, this quote will be replayed, dissected, and remembered as the spark that lit the fuse. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. What makes this whole situation even more compelling is the emotional investment from the fan base. Golden State supporters aren't casual. They've lived through the highs and lows. They've celebrated rings and endured heartbreaks. For them, seeing internal conflict feels almost personal. They're not just watching a basketball team. They're watching an identity they've grown with. Social media has become a battlefield of opinions. Some are defending Kerr as a disciplinarian doing what's necessary to keep standards high. Others argue that the NBA has changed. Players hold more power now, and coaches need to evolve. And then there are the conspiracy theories, trade talks, front office politics, hidden agendas. Everyone's got a theory, but no one has answers. Meanwhile, the team's public relations department is scrambling to contain the story, keeping everything as internal matters. But in today's world, nothing stays internal for long. Every gesture, every benching, every lineup change will be analyzed for clues. It's chaos disguised as professionalism, and it's fascinating to watch unfold. At the end of the day, maybe this is just what happens when greatness lasts too long. Dynasties demand sacrifice, of ego, of comfort, of individuality. Kerr knows that better than anyone. The player, whoever he is, probably knows it too. They've both given so much to the game, to the fans, to the franchise, that it's hard to tell where passion ends and pride begins. Maybe this story isn't about betrayal or rebellion. Maybe it's about evolution. Maybe this is the moment the Warriors are forced to redefine who they are, to build something new from the ashes of what was. Every great team faces this point. When legends start aging, when philosophies start clashing, when emotions spill over. The words, "he doesn't play with me anymore," might sound final, but in sports, endings are often just transitions. Maybe they'll reconcile, maybe not. But whatever happens, this chapter will mark a shift in the Warriors' story, a reminder that even dynasties, no matter how golden, are built on fragile human connections. Some rumors indicate that tensions could potentially influence game day execution, particularly in high-pressure scenarios where instinctive communication and teamwork are critical. Analysts suggest that subtle misalignments, arising from underlying friction, might manifest in delayed rotations, defensive lapses, or missed opportunities on offense, potentially affecting outcomes in closely contested matchups. Observers claim that the Warriors' coaching staff is closely monitoring interactions, evaluating how Kuminga's presence might affect dynamics across different units and combinations on the floor. While the situation is largely speculative, the narrative frames Kuminga as a player whose immense potential is accompanied by challenges related to integration, mentorship, and adherence to established cultural norms. Some insiders describe the alleged issues as a slow burn, emphasizing that small disruptions can accumulate over time, subtly shaping the team's collective mindset, communication patterns, and approach to challenges. Fans and commentators are analyzing every detail, from locker room behavior to practice drills, seeking evidence that confirms or refutes the story, creating an environment where perception and rumor hold almost as much weight as tangible performance. Analysts debate whether interventions will focus primarily on personal development, coaching adjustments, or a combination of both, weighing the long-term benefits of nurturing talent against the immediate imperative of maintaining harmony. The rumor has taken on a life of its own, shaping narratives around leadership, accountability, and the sometimes invisible influence that individual personalities can exert on elite organizations. As a result, Kuminga's role in the team is being scrutinized not just for athletic contribution, but for its potential to affect the delicate equilibrium that has historically defined Golden State success. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.